Most people can't tell what made last Tuesday any different from last Friday. Today, I woke up and it felt exactly like yesterday felt. And the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that. Every single day is a copy of a copy of a copy. And that's what happens when every single day is built from the same mundane blueprint. And I get it. There are a lot of people out there that love their routines. Their routine is so important to them. But in the world that we live in now, it doesn't seem as though it's propelling us towards anything better. And I thought that was the purpose of a routine. And I think the fear that a lot of people have is that they will continue down this path until their final breath. And that's it. Sure, they may go to the gym and they may get ripped and they may look great. But they have no one. They're alone with their pecs and their abs and their biceps. So what's the point of having them? Routines, they just aren't serving people anymore because you're not getting anything out of them. And also they're usually built around serving someone else's priorities, right? Yeah, sure, some of it's for you, but you want to be your optimal best for your boss, right? You can only pay your rent and feed your belly and pay for your gym subscription if you fulfill his priorities first. And as I've gotten older, I've questioned that whole dynamic. And I've asked myself, what is the point of that? That's not a life. I might as well be an ant or a worker bee. Life for many people, it feels circular. You exist to continue your existence. What's the point? But now you can't even continue your existence because there's no sane person to procreate with. It doesn't matter if you're 6 feet tall and have six-pack abs and have six figures. Because there's no boss that won't lay you off out of the blue. And then you're just left with your six-pack abs and being 6 feet. And the expectations now are even beyond that. You have women that demand that a man make 7 figures. So I'm not saying that that's every woman out there, but there are a lot of women out there with those expectations. And it's when you live on the internet long enough, it's all you see. You forget what's out there in the world. I'm sure it's different, but a lot of people can't afford to go out into the world anymore because it's so expensive and they don't make enough. It's hard to participate in the world now. For many reasons I've talked about. Many reasons you can think of, and feel free to list them in the comment section. After you've thought about all of this long enough, sifted through every nook and cranny of it, you stop expecting anything to change. You stop waiting for things to feel new. And you can't, the thing that sucks is you can't just stop this or opt out. I guess you could, but then you would kiss your warm bed goodbye and trade it for cold concrete under an overpass. And I know for a lot of you, your warm bed is the only place where you feel all right when you're asleep, when you're warm, bundled in your blankets, asleep, when you actually have a break from this reality. we are all mourning for the past. There was a time in your distant memory when the future was easier to picture because you hadn't lived enough life yet to know any different. For you, at that moment, you had so many questions. And of course they were left unanswered. So there was all these possibilities. They were endless. You had high hopes for the journey to your destination. You could see where you were headed and feel the distance between here and there. But now the road, it looks the same no matter what. And I think the past, it feels heavier because days used to stand apart. You have these vivid memories of where you were and who you were with and who you wanted to be. And that distance between here and there, it was so vast. You had all the time in the world. But now the road is shrinking and it's getting bumpier. And there's nowhere to exit off to. You can't see anything. You can't feel anything. You can't enjoy anything anymore. And some people, they call this feeling, or lack thereof, anhedonia. Sure, maybe. But what's the point of having a word for something that you feel? What is it about that? Like, why is it that people, they have to be diagnosed with something or go as far as to be self-diagnosed just so that they can have a label to reach for, to call that thing that plagues them? I think people are so short-circuited from this modern life that they have nothing left to build their identity on. And so they reach for that label like a life raft, saying, I have anhedonia. It gives them a hit of dopamine, I suppose, or saying that they have depression or BPD or OCD or ADHD, whatever it is. It's something that they can be other than the ordinary person that they so desperately don't want to be. While at the same time, they crave nothing more than a normal life. And of course, normal is relative. So let's assign the word normal to mean predictable. But what's funny about that is that when you were younger, it's the unpredictability of life that fed your zest for life in the first place. But as you get older, it's the unpredictability that eats away at you. I think it's the future that we finally see. The one that we couldn't see before. The future that doesn't offer much. At least not what we thought it would. Our past, it offered us the present that we have now that leaves us hopeless about the future to come. I think the only people who are hopeful about the future haven't thought about anything I've just said. It's wild that there are people out there that are completely incapable of that. And then there are those like me and like you who are capable. And I think we're the only ones asking, what's the point? But I want to turn that question back on ourselves. What was the point of waking up and thinking deeply about all of this in the first place? Who's really better off? Us or them?